Now, Hal, what time of day is it, lad?
Oh, thou art so fat-witted, with drinking of old sack, and unbuttoning the after supper, and sleeping upon benches afternoons, that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of the day, unless hours were cups of sack, and minutes capons, and clocks the tongues of bawds, and dials of signs of leaping houses, and the blessed sun himself, a fair hot wench in flame-colored taffeta? I see no reason why thou shouldst be so superfluous to demand the time of the day.
Indeed, you come near me now, Hal, for we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus, he that wandering knight so fair. And I prithee, sweet wag, when thou art king, as God save thy grace, majesty I should say, for grace thou wilt have none.
What? None?
No, by my troth, not so much as will serve to prologue to an egg and butter.
Oh, well, how then? Come, roundly, roundly.
Marry then, sweet wag, when thou art king, let not us that are squires of the night's body be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon, and let men say we be men of good government, being governed, as the sea is, by our noble and chaste mistress, the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, and it holds well too. For the fortune of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea, being governed, as the sea is, by the moon. For proof now, a purse of gold most resolutely snatched on Monday night, and most dissolutely spent on Tuesday morning, got with the swearing, lay by, and spent with the crime, bring in. Now in as low an ebb as the foot of the ladder, by and by in as high a flow as the ridge of the gallows.
By the Lord, thou sayest true, lad. And is not my hostess of the tavern a most sweet wench?
Oh, it's the honey of Hybla, my old lad of the castle. And is not a buff jerkin a most sweet robe of durance?
How now, mad wag, what in thy quips and thy quiddities? What a plague have I to do with a buff jerkin?
Why, what a pox have I to do with my hostess of the tavern?
Well, thou hast called her to a reckoning many a time and oft.
Did I ever call for thee to pay thy part?
No, I'll give thee thy due, thou hast paid all there.
Yea, and elsewhere, so far as my coin stretch, where it would not, I have used my credit.
Yea, and so used it, that were it not here apparent, that thou art heir apparent. But I prithee, sweet wag, shall there be gallows standing in England when thou art king? And resolution thus fobbed as it is, with the rusty curb of old Father Antic, the law? Do not, when thou art king, hang a thief.
No, thou shalt.
Shall I? Oh, rare, by the Lord, thou be a brave judge.
Thou judgest false already. I mean thou shalt have the hanging of the thieves, and so become a rare hangman.
Well, Hal, well, and in some sorts it jumps with my humor as well as waiting in the court, I can tell you.
For obtaining of suits.
Yea, for obtaining of suits, whereof the hangman hath no lean wardrobe. Sblood, I am as melancholy as a gib-cat or a lug-bear.
Or an old lion, or a lover's lute.
Yea, or the drone of a Lincolnshire bagpipe.
Oh, what sayest thou to a hare, or the melancholy of Mordage?
Thou hast the most unsavory similes, and art indeed the most comparative rascalliest. Sweet young prince. But Hal, I prithee, trouble me no more with vanities. I would to God thou and I knew where a commodity of good names were to be bought. An old lord of the council rated me in the street about you the other day, sir, but I mocked him not. And yet he talked very wisely, but I regarded him not. And yet he talked wisely, and in the street too.
Thou didst well, for wisdom cries out in the streets, and no man regards it.
Thou hast the most damnable iteration, and art indeed able to corrupt a saint. Thou hast done much harm upon me, Hal. God forgive thee for it. Before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now I am, if a man should speak true, little better than one of the wicked. I must give over this life, and I will give it over. Zoons, if I do not, I'm a villain. I'll be damned for ne'er a king's son in Christendom.
Where shall we take purse tomorrow, Jack?
Zoons, where thou wilt, lad, I'll make one, and I do not call me villain and baffle me.
Oh, I see a good amendment of life in me, from praying to purse-taking.
Why, Hal, 'tis my vocation, Hal.
Ah.
'Tis no sin for a man to labor in his vocation. Poins! Now shall we know if Gadshill have set a match. Oh, if men were to be saved by merit, what hole in hell were hot enough for him? This is the most omnipotent villain that ever cried, "Stand to a true man."
Good morrow, Ned.
Good morrow, sweet Hal. What says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John Sack and Sugar? Jack, how agrees the devil in thee about thy soul, that thou soldst him on Good Friday last for a cup of Madeira and a cold capon's leg?
Oh, Sir John stands to his word. The devil shall have his bargain, for he was never yet a breaker of proverbs. He will give the devil his due.
Then art thou damned for keeping thy word with the devil.
Else he had been damned for cousining the devil.
But, my lads, tomorrow morning, by 4 o'clock, early at Gadshill, there are pilgrims riding to Canterbury with rich offerings, and traders headed to London with fat purses. I have visitors for you all. You have horses for yourselves. Gadshill lies tonight in Rochester. I have bespoke supper tomorrow night in Eastcheap. We may do it as secure as sleep. Then you will come. I will stuff your purses full of crowns. And you will not tarry at home and be hanged.
Hear ye, Edward. If I tarry at home and go not, I'll hang you for going.
Oh, you will, Chops.
How wilt thou make one?
Oh, who I rob? I a thief? Not I, by my faith.
There's neither honesty, manhood, nor good fellowship in thee. Nor camest thou of the blood royal, if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings.
Well, then, once in my days I'll be a madcap.
Why, that's well said.
Well, come what will, I'll tarry at home.
By the Lord, I'll be a traitor then when thou art king.
I care not.
Sir John, I prithee, leave the prince and me alone. I will lay him down such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
Well, God give thee the spirit of persuasion and him the ears of profiting, that what thou speaks may move, and what he hears may be believed, that the true prince may, for recreation's sake, prove a false thief. For the poor abuses of the time want countenance. Farewell, you shall find me in Eastcheap.
Farewell, thou latter spring. Farewell, old hallowed summer.
Now, my good, sweet, honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Bardolph, Peto, and Gadshill will rob those travelers that we have already waylaid. Yourself and I will not be there. And when they have the booty, if you and I do not rob them, cut this head off from my shoulders.
How shall we part with them in setting forth?
Why, we shall set out before or after them and appoint some place of meeting, wherein it is at our pleasure to fail. And then will they venture upon the exploit themselves, which they shall have no sooner but achieved, but will set on them.
Yea, but 'tis like that they will know us by our horses, by our habits, and by every other appointment to be ourselves.
Tut, our horses they shall not see. I will tie them in the woods. Our visitors we shall change once we have left them. And, sir, I have cases of buckram for the nonce, to unmask our noted outward garments.
Yea, but I doubt they will be too hard for us.
Why, for 2 of them, I know them to be as true-bred cowards as ever turned back. And for the third, if he fights longer than he sees reason, I'll forswear arms. The virtue of the jest shall be in the incomprehensible lies that this same fat rogue will tell us at supper. How 30 at least he fought with, what wards, what blows, what extremities he endured. And in the reproof of this lies the jest.
Well, I'll go with thee. Provide us all things necessary, and meet me tomorrow night in Eastcheap. There I'll sup. Farewell.
Farewell.
I know you all, and will a while uphold the unyoked humor of your islands. Yet, herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at, by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to strangle him. If all the year were playing holiday, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wished for come, and nothing pleaseth but rare accidents. So when this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt, I never promise it. By how much better than my word I am, by so much shall I falsify men's hopes. And like bright metal on a sullen ground, my reformation glittering o'er my fault shall show more goodly, and attract more eyes, than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend, to make offence a skill, redeeming time, when men think least I will.